Hey guys, welcome back. So you got me twice this week. Orders are done. I got some new rollers. Gonna hit my Etsy store really soon. You don't want to know how many new rollers I have. I have a ton. So it's gonna take me a while to test them all out and get them up there. But while I have no orders to do, I came in here and I don't know what I want to make. I was gonna make a cuff bracelet. And I have this, which is a cutter that I have. It's a circle bracelet template. And it also has a 1-inch cutter that comes with it. This one's not 1 inch. This is a 75. But this is the 1-inch. You know, and then if you wanted to, you could add, add a circle on top of something. I don't know. So I've never really made any kind of cuff bracelets with anything on it besides the actual design, but I'm gonna try and make a flower and maybe play with some rhinestones today. So I don't know, I wanted to do something pink and I didn't want the bracelet to be really bright, so I thought, ooh, how about olive green? And then I thought what goes great with olive green would be a light pink. So I'm gonna make this into a Skinner blend and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we got our nice little blend made. Now we're going to run this back through the pasta machine like this. And I'm going to do a 0 and I'm actually going to do a 3. Usually I just do a 0. But we're going to make this a little long this time. And then, of course, I like my striations. So, I'm going to bundle all this up. Every day I'm feeling a little bit more human. Just got the cough now and a little bit of chest congestion, but I feel so much better. It feels so good to be close to normal again. It rained for the past 2 days, and looks like the rain has stopped now. It's a little cold outside. It's going to make our mountains look beautiful for at least a month. And then they'll be their ugly, dingy brown again. Alright, so this is what we got. So now I want to make the striations in my flower. So I am going to reduce this long like I normally do. And again, when you do this, you don't want to see one color on top. Because if you start reducing it this way, you're going to lose your center and really squish it down. So I always turn it on the side so that I can see all of the colors. And then I reduce it this way. I use a brayer because my hands just don't like me. You want to make this thin enough to where you can get it in the pasta machine. I love this combo. I love pink and olive. And then if you wanted to use another kind of pink and green, you can do like a dark pink, but make this like a lighter green. But the lighter pink works really good with the dark green. And then the opposite with the light green. I think one more should be good enough. Just move all this out of my way. Okay, so now I'm going to put it through the pasta machine like this and make this a really long strip. And on this one I'm just going to do a 0. Okay. And then I will probably do this in a 2-inch strip. You want to make it even. So there's 8. I'd like to get 10 out of here. Not sure if that's going to work, but we're going to force it to work. And it's pretty close. So, and there we go. Okay. And now we're just going to stagger them a little off the top. And that will give you your striated patterns here. Okay, so there you go. So you have your petal. You can leave it alone like that if you want, and just use it like that. I'm going to go ahead and reduce this to 3 inches, and then I'm going to cut it in half and add a little bit more to it, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm only using this as a petal, not as an actual flower. Not quite there, but it's good enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to put that together. And then we'll see what this looks like. I think the pink will be the bottom. And you always know what time it is when the dogs start barking. Alright, I'm gonna go see what's up. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So we live on a corner, and a lot of time a car will come down the street and just stop right there on the corner and not do anything. So the dogs like to bark. Alright, so I'm going to look at this really quick and see if I want to go one more. Alright, I think I am. I think I'm going to just go one more. That's actually really pretty. You know, you can even do a flower like that where each of your petals is actually 2 and make it in 4. Be really pretty. Alright, so now we just want to reduce this really small. I might have to do this again and make an actual flower out of this one. Okay, so we're just going to round this. Okay, and it's going to be very small, so I will probably go on pause and reduce that, but for now, let's go ahead and make the base. Because then I'm going to have to figure out how these flowers are going to fit. Okay, so the cutter is 6.5 inches, or it should be. And you're going to need 2 because you want it kind of thick. So you could either cut out one strip and then put it on your base. So I have a bunch of these. These are all from tinypandora.com. She's got small ones and she's got extra large ones, which is probably what that is. Oh, and I think they come in a set of 4. So there should be 3. I don't know where that one came from, but that one's all bent up. And yeah, that's a little too tight. And then you have your thin ones. That's got to be an extra large. Got so many of these, I don't even know anymore. I think this one's a good one. Okay. So we want to go a little bit wider. Okay, we may have to go a little wider than that. So that's going to be this one right here. I don't normally make cuffs. When I first started playing with clay, I did, but I don't wear them very often. I don't wear jewelry, so it doesn't matter for me. I don't know why, too. I've got all kinds of pretty stuff, and I just don't wear them. But let me go ahead. I'm going to reduce this down. I'm going to add another layer on this. So that I'll show you, but when I reduce that, I'll shut off the camera. I think a nice texture would be pretty on this as well. So I've got a couple more flower rollers that I'm printing now. Some that aren't quite so deep. Alright, so let's see what we got here. And I'd rather have a little more than a little less. All right. One more and we should be good. Okay. I'm going to use this just to give me one straight side here. I'm not worried about the other side yet. That's going to be my inside, so I'm not really worried about, as you can see, how that turned out. And this is going to stretch out a little bit. So for one side, I want to put texture. So the biggest issue now is wondering if I should design it while this is on the cutter or while it's flat. Okay, so that's the back. Actually, I'm going to go a little deeper because when I put the texture roller across the top, it's going to squish a lot of this. Alrighty, so now we just got to find a really cool roller. And I have some. I have a ton of them. I have the ones I've made, but when I need them, they're not nowhere to be found. Okay, let me go grab one and I'll be back. Okay, never mind. I'm going to use one of these, and this is something that I got from AliExpress. And it's just a little flower roller, but it's not deep, and that's really cool because I don't want it deep. Actually, this would probably be a really pretty roller to use with that project that we tried the other day. I'm going to have to revisit this. Because if you see, it's not really deep. Okay, and I'm going to have flowers over the top of this, so it's not like you're really going to see it either. So we're going to push this down, and it's a little thick, so make sure you get something heavy on top if your hands don't do it. Okay, so that is done. Just look at the bottom really quick here. We still have our texture, so that's good. And I just want to see what this is going to look like while it's on here. Okay, so that's perfect. So there's basically your cuff already made. But last time I did this while it was on the cuff. This time I am going to try and do this while it's flat on the ground. So I am going to go reduce this flower down, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we are back, and we have our flower really small here. The problem with doing this is trying to figure out where to put it. So I don't want the flower straight on the end because I want to put two holes right here. So I was thinking of doing this center and this center. So you have to make sure that you cut your petals small enough, but not too small. I have a feeling I may have went too small. We're going to cut out 5 or 6 here. I'm not going really thin, but I'm not really going thick either. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of... This is where it's going to take a little bit of maneuvering. So I may end up wasting a lot of petals until I can find that perfect size that I want. And it looks like, I don't know, it looks like we may have it. I'm just trying to see. I think this actually might work. So I might want to grab a tool so that you can grab your flowers really well. So this is going to be 6 flowers. Or 6 petals, 6 flowers. So this is just the first one just to see how this is going to look, and I'm going to end up doubling it. So I'm going to put a layer on top as well. So I'm not really worried about the center. Okay, so if I did that, I'm not going to lay them in there yet, just in case I got to move them. Turn this around. I'd rather do it like, probably like this, where I can keep that top round. So I just want to make sure that these are going to fit next to each other. So far, so good. This is where a ball tool will really come in handy. Wondering if the bottom should be a little darker so that the flowers don't get really lost on it, because it is the same color. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut this out again, but I'm gonna go a little darker on the base. And that's why you don't want to push these in all the way at the starting. Because you know me, I can never do anything the first time around. And that was like the perfect mold too. So let me go ahead and run this through with some black and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we made it a little darker. I could have kept going, but I didn't know how much to keep going, so I just left it as is, so just a little bit darker. Now, I'm going to put these back on. Okay, this one all got stuck together, so that's good. Unless you're like me and can't pick any of it up. Wow. Okay, so we will probably pause as we add all these on, and then from that point I'll see if I want to make a double layer. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a total of 6 flowers, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, so I have my first flowers on here. I know you really can't see them very well. And so now you come to the point where you have to decide, do you want to put another layer on top of it? So we're going to cut 6 pieces here. And we're going to see what a top layer would look like on top of that. So none of this is set in stone yet. I just kind of laid them on there. And if I like the double, then I'll go ahead and press them into the clay. So these are just going to lay in between all the other petals. Oops. And I think these got a little bit smaller than the other ones, so and you can curve them up a little bit so that you can see that they're a different layer. Okay, so I think I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to add one more layer on top. So I'm going to pause one more time. And then what I'll do on these, on the bottom ones, is I'm just going to push the bottoms of the leaves down a little bit. Right down into the center. Since they're going to be hidden. And, well, can't worry about that one now. A good insurance is to put liquid clay underneath, and that should help it a lot more. So we're going to make these a little longer. I think it'll fit in there a lot better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we are back again. We have all of our layers on top. So I don't want to touch it yet because I don't want to ruin it. I'm going to take the inside of my flowers. I think I might have to use one of these. I like the one a little bigger. But as usual, I can't find what I did with them. Okay, so I think I'll do the final touches on it when I actually get them on the bracelet thing. So I have something from Teresa Salgado I've never used before, and it's some kind of a sticky gem, and I know it can be heated, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to use some liquid clay, which would work just as good, I think. And I'm going to add some rhinestones in the middle of these flowers. First, this is the worst part of this stuff, is how sticky it is. This hole's a little deeper than all the other ones. I feel it would be easier if I just do it this way. Actually, it was easier doing it this way. Okay. Now the fun part is going to get the rhinestone on. I am not really good at this stuff. And I know I have one of those grabbers again from Teresa Salgado. Here it is. I don't know how well they work. As you can see. And I'm going to have to wipe these off. So you're supposed to just be able to grab them. Actually easier for me to grab with my fingers, believe it or not, and stick them in there. A pair of tweezers would work as well. So I'll grab some alcohol really quick and a Q-tip, and I'm going to wipe all this off. Alrighty, so I got up to get alcohol, and I sat down and blew my nose and realized that I didn't get the alcohol. So I got it now. So I'm just kind of cleaning the top of the rhinestone, which is weird because this one's a little different than all the other ones. So I'm going to have to pull that number 1 out and replace it with something else, because this does not match up with any of the other ones. Of course, these are all bigger. Very interesting here. It's all a little bit bigger. That's really big. I've got some that are like silver. Hopefully one of these will match. Like this one right here. Again, it may be a little bigger than the other ones, but it's about the best I can do. Alrighty, so now that we've done that, we are going to take this bracelet now and put it on our form. And I think this was a really big form. I didn't want this one. I think it was this one. not worried about it being perfect as long as it's all on there. That's one thing about this shape. Doesn't want to sit on there, does it? Okay. So now, okay, I lost the grommet, or one just came up. I want to go back in here, and I kind of want to lift these flowers up a little bit and let them curl. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But I don't want them to curl too much to where they're going to catch on something. I just want to kind of give them a little bit of movement. See how I'm just kind of turning them up a little bit? They're going to lay back down anyways once the heat hits them. But hopefully they won't look like they're stuck on that bottom layer. And you just basically do the best you can. This whole thing wants to come up, which means he's not on there good enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to press down on the bottom petals. This one doesn't want to come up. Just want to get right in between that one. If I'm off camera, I'm sorry guys. I need to get this close to my head because I can't see. Sorry about the dogs. They're just having a field day today. I don't know who's outside because it is really windy and cold out there. Just thinking of taking them for a walk, and then I walked outside for a second and went, oh no, not happening today. I am so ready for spring. So we got a couple. Now, I don't know where that fuchsia came from, but I'm going to leave that, and I'll take it off when it comes out of the oven. Okay. Now, if you wanted, I'm going to do this on one that's not stuck to see if I should put some lines in there. So you can play with it any way that you want. Just trying to secure it a little better. Well, I put it in the oven for an hour at 275. And then we can decide whether we want to add a little bit of paint to it, or if we would just want to leave it alone. Again, I'm just kind of pushing up the petals a little bit. Okay. I mean, if you have some leaves left over, well, you can do something like that on the side, or you could just leave it alone like that. So we're going to leave this one alone. And let me get a tile. Alright, so we're going to put this in the oven, and we will see you guys in about an hour. Hey guys, we're back. We have it out of the oven. So this is how our bracelet turned out. I still feel like it's missing something. I just don't know what. But I could go in there and add, I don't know. I don't want to add gold. I'm going to add some pink. Definitely don't want to add green. Oh, you know what? Hold on one second. So I got some Inca gold in the mail today, and oh, they really messed up my order. This right here is Metal Gloss Paint Platinum. Does that look platinum to you? So now I have to return that. How bad would blue look? Silver or gold. To me, I don't know. I don't want gold, but I don't want silver. And this is just an experiment, so if it messes up, honestly, all I got to do is throw it under the sink and wash it real quick before it dries. But I don't know, it just feels like there's it's too boring. Although blue is not my first choice. Gonna see what it looks like anyways. Just like a quick bit of paint on the side here. And I'm just lightly putting it on. If I could get my fingers in between, that's probably the best way to put this on. Got a little bit where I didn't want it to go. I'll have to see if I can get that off. Really would like a little more. It kind of gives it a little bit more oomph to it. But anyways, a little bit of alcohol here and get where wow, it's already drying. So I'll let it sit out a little bit and see if I like it. But that is your bracelet cuff. You know, a pink might have even looked good with it as well, but I don't have any pale pink, so I don't think that would have worked really well. I'll put some sandpaper on top of that. And then if you want, you can take a couple jump rings and put it through there with a clasp, or you can leave it alone. It's bendy, so you can kind of form it to your hand. But there is our little bracelet. So I hope you like that, and we will talk to you guys on the next round. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.